I won't let it burn out. I won't let it.
If you've heard of this song,
All my friends are toxic, all ambitionless, so rude and always negative.
then you've probably heard of Boywithuke. This was his hit single of 2021 called Toxic, which hit global 200 charts and US alternative songs at number 10. But this was Boywithuke 2 years after posting music on TikTok. So the question you may be asking is, what is his origin story for making music like this? Well, that's exactly what I'll be answering in this video. Hello everyone and welcome back to Musician Theory. Today we will be breaking down Boywithuke's origin story to lead up to his musical career. This all starts with his minute-long songs, which the Boywithuke community likes to call MLS. So let's start, of course, at the very beginning. Boywithuke first started his career on TikTok, publishing his first video on September 15th, 2020. It used his now so-called song, Nihilist. In this TikTok, he explained a little bit about himself and how he recorded songs of himself playing the ukulele in GarageBand. Now at the time, we didn't know that his younger brother encouraged him to post it on TikTok, but in 2023, we eventually learned that his brother was indeed his encouragement. He posted another TikTok, which led to his SoundCloud, which at the time only had a few songs on it. He had published his first song on January 23rd, 2020 called Late Night Snacks. This song talked about how he eats too much and how he wishes he doesn't eat as much as he does, especially at night. He had posted another song called Wow Je suis tellement créatif 3 days later on January 26th, 2020. This song is about his high school crush in his French class. He wants to know how her day went and how she should continue to study to keep an A in the class. Most of his songs he wrote in high school were for his crush and about his mental health. He then went on to post a cover of Ivy by Frank Ocean. His next single was Sleep Paralysis, which debuted on February 27th, 2020. It is obviously about the feeling of sleep paralysis. He explains how he feels in the moment of it. On March 5th, he finally released his first EP, which I should mention, all of his beginner songs were exclusive to SoundCloud. He released 3 songs, I Don't Know, 15 Hours, and my favorite, Have You Ever Wondered Like I Do. I Don't Know talks about how he's unsure of where he'd go if he feels down low and he wants to try to keep himself afloat instead of drowning in a metaphoric sense. Have You Ever Wondered Like I Do talks about how he dreams of spending time with his crush and asks her a question either physically or mentally, asking, have you ever wondered like I do and had those sleepless nights, it's when I think of you. He asks if she wonders about him like he thinks about her. The third and final song in the EP is 15 Hours. This speaks about how he's in an awful state of mind and how he needs to get out of it. Now the last song he released before his full-length album was Where Do We Go? Boywithuke talks about how he keeps falling back on his girlfriend. He also states, from 9 to 5, I have no life. He talks about his 9 to 5 job he has that he doesn't want since it's not his passion. Boywithuke continued to post TikToks showing his work on a new album, releasing one song at a time. He continued posting TikToks until his content grew more mainstream. He finally released his first full-length album on other platforms such as Apple Music and Spotify on January 22nd, 2021. This was Melatonin Dreams. There are 13 songs and it had a runtime of 43 minutes. This was the official beginning of Boywithuke. This marked an era. Boywithuke had said Melatonin Dreams were portrayed by a dark theme of suicidal thoughts. Starting with the first song on the album, Blurry Nights. This song is the most popular on this album, with the ukulele and lyrics matching perfectly together. It's blurry nights that haunt my mind, says Boywithuke, talking about a girl who had betrayed him, so he suffers and weeps every night. The second song, Letter from My Bed, speaks about Boywithuke's mess physically and mentally and how he'd rather escape reality and live in his dream. Route 9 is the third song on Melatonin Dreams, and it talks about driving on a specific road, Route 9, and it reminds him of his past relationships. The next song, Lost, speaks about Boywithuke's relationship with his past love, leaving him lost without a purpose. 2.9 Miles Away is a simple concept where he wishes he was closer to his girlfriend. He states, about to let you know that I just renewed my subscription of Hulu. He wants to let her on his Hulu account so they could watch the same shows together. Another fan favorite is I Won't Let You Go. This is another simple concept that many can relate to. He continues to talk about his past relationship and how he can't let her go. he can't let go of the past. Galaxy is a song that is an analogy of his girlfriend. He compares her to a galaxy as she is everything to him. This song also reuses the chorus from the previous SoundCloud exclusive song, Have You Ever Wondered Like I Do. He uses the chorus from the past song as the second verse in Galaxy. The Ace song, I Wish, discusses his romantic feelings towards someone he barely knows, yet he's too scared to talk to them. The line, Ever since my favorite letters have been YRUAQT, is a funny pickup line he uses in the song, which works well with the tempo of it. Lovely is another simple concept song. It speaks about a girl he's in love with and how she is so amazing. He thinks she can do nothing wrong, and Boywithuke explains that songs like these and Melatonin Dreams show a bit of hope from his time of depression and suicidal thoughts. Nihilist expresses the true meaning of the word within Boywithuke. Nihilist means a person who believes that life is meaningless and rejects all moral principles. Boywithuke portrays the meaning by singing about his dislike of the outside world. Zoning Out is the 11th song on the album, speaking about his past life at home. He finds it hard to move on, continually zoning out of the real world to his past. This song, Just Let Me Go, portrays Boywithuke's perspective on life during the time. Just Let Me Go is a song about his life and how he wants it to end. He hates the treatment from others towards him, but he still wants his loved ones to be okay without him. The final and 13th song on the Melatonin Dreams album is So Cold. This song expresses his anger towards his situation in life at the time. He asks if someone would like to run a mile in his shoes, expressing how frustrating life was for him at that time. He also states that he feels cold even under the sun. This could be due to Boywithuke not being able to see his girlfriend. He may not be able to be happy without her. So what was the point of Melatonin Dreams? Well, Melatonin Dreams is an album to which Boywithuke started his career, while also talking about his life in dark times. He explains how he feels suicidal throughout his older teenage years, and his relationships that have worked but that have also fallen apart. He also names this album after a compound named melatonin, which helps with sleep. As most of the songs are based upon his experiences in life and how he wants to sleep forever, the title, Melatonin Dreams, works perfectly to link all the songs to one theme. After the release of his first album, he continued to roll out new TikToks and music. Boywithuke showed more songs of his that he wrote and had officially labeled them as minute-long songs. He posted some that would come out and some that would only be seen as minute-long songs. He hadn't officially named these songs, but here are a few of the songs that he never released.
Falling apart, all my socks are not sorted. Blood on my shirt, it's too late to be sorry. I'll see you again at my next birthday party.
Rhythmic notes upon a measure, we're the only two lines in the stanza that don't rhyme, but we somehow do. Winter comes and takes away the sun, but I'll follow through, drawing inspiration from Romeo. I don't appreciate the foliage that blocks being in love with you. Falling on each other, we catch L's but mostly W's. Worry about the lack of time another time. Forget to rhyme, forget about lemons and limes, and focus on our aptitude.
My favorite one has to be Far Far Away.
Baby, maybe you should take me far, far away. Cause I've been feeling really cold. Both letters down below, soda lemon just to show I'm okay.
Boywithuke still has not shown his face at this time, and he began to grow more popular. He posted an EP on SoundCloud early with an extra song, I Don't Like Parties Anymore. With a mixture of English and Spanish, he sings wishing he could be brought home and wondering where someone went, most likely his crush or his girlfriend. This is honestly one of my favorites that I wish he would have released on other platforms. He released the official EP, Truvai, on Apple Music and Spotify on March 5th, 2021, having 3 songs. These 3 songs would be Falling For You, Tired of Wanting You, and Animal Crackers. The first song is Falling For You, and it speaks about how Boywithuke is falling for a girl he never thought that he would fall for in particular, but then he realizes that they have a lot in common. Tired of Wanting You speaks about his inability to go out and talk to the girl he wants. He is tired of wanting this girl, yet he can't build up the courage to say she's cute and ask her out. The third and final song in Boywithuke's first officially released EP is Animal Crackers. He captioned the minute-long song stating, a song I wrote about my 8th birthday where no one came. We can assume that this song speaks about how he wished people had come to his birthday party, yet no one showed up, as he could have not been liked as a child. After the release of those songs on SoundCloud, Boywithuke would continue to post TikToks from his neck down until one day he changed it up. On February 8th, 2021, Boywithuke put on a checkered face mask. He wore that while playing one of his most famous unreleased minute-long songs, Cocoon. Then on February 11th, he wore his first permanent mask, the mirror mask. It allowed him to see us, aka his phone, and it allowed for the viewers to wonder who he truly is. He then released 2 more songs before a massive project he had been working on. These songs would be known as Riptide Ukulele Cover and the infamous Head Song. The Head Song came out on February 7th, 2021, and the Riptide cover a few weeks later on February 28th, 2021. They were both exclusive to SoundCloud. The Head Song gained its popularity from, well, the funny title it has. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on the song, but if you know, you know. Boywithuke continued his minute-long song series, and finally he began racking up views more and more until people wanted a face reveal. He posted a video thanking people for 200,000 followers, saying that he would face reveal at 1 million followers. Speaking of which, it would mean the world to me if you could subscribe to me for content like this. I'm planning to do more Boywithuke videos in the near future, so please subscribe if you don't want to miss another video. Now, Boywithuke continued his fame, posting a single on April 2nd called Small Fry. He collabed with another artist called Kira Watts. This was his first collab with any artist before. Small Fry was about the underdogs in society. It speaks about those who are underestimated for their potential. 9 days later, Boywithuke posted a video captioned, "One Step at a Time."
I just got out of work, baby!
In this video, he explained how he had quit his 9-to-5 job to do music and TikTok full time. In retrospect, he definitely made the right decision. 2 days later, he posted another minute-long song. This time, it was a song called 2 Moons.
Sorry, please excuse me for my mess. My heart's been pouring through my chest.
The song immediately blew up all over TikTok, having 1.6 million views and 350,000 likes as of making this video. He then began taking requests for making songs from the comments of his videos. He even made a song about ADHD, even though he didn't know much about it as he wasn't diagnosed with it.
Not too fond about it, honestly, and I'm not diagnosed, so it's hard to speak about it, but I'll try to write a song for ADHD because of this guy who frequently comments. His comments are common on my content. My concept for ADHD is represented by my brain going 80.
Boywithuke officially became Boywithuke with his instantly recognizable mask debuting May 20th, 2021. He made an edit of himself wearing a mask with 2 glowing white eyes. He also had announced that his album with a bunch of his popular minute-long songs would be coming out in the summer. This day was no other than June 4th, 2021. This was Boywithuke's biggest moment. This was Fever Dreams. The first song in Fever Dreams is 2 Moons. This was Boywithuke's first big hit. The chorus talks about him seeing 2 moons as he may be crying while looking at the moon. When you cry, you may see double as the water blurs your vision. Another representation of the 2 moons is a metaphor of disorientation and lostness. The second half of the verse 3 is the most popular part. He states, "Yeah, F no, I go where I want to, but I'm stuck in my bedroom. I'm telling lies to keep myself from hurting those around you." Boywithuke talks about the feeling of depression and not wanting to ever leave his bedroom. The second song in the album is Psycho. We learn about a character named Toby. This is the mask. Boywithuke feels trapped behind the mask, yet he still can't get out as Toby tells him not to. He states, "Toby tells me lies when I'm sleep deprived. Toby says I'm the worst of my kind." Toby can also be represented as Boywithuke's conscience. Toby keeps telling Boywithuke that he's not good enough. The name Psycho comes from the chorus, "They tell me I'm a psycho." People most likely think he's insane as he has a voice that only he can hear. The next song is my favorite from the album, Out of Tune. He speaks about the aftermath of a breakup. The line, "You effed me up and put me out of tune," is yet another metaphor speaking about his emotional damage taking him out of rhythm in life. Oh, and just as a fun fact, he states the name of 2 games, Fortnite and Minecraft, in the song. The next song, Shy, speaks about his shyness in society and for his crush. He is too shy to make a move on this girl he likes. This is a relatable topic and it resonates to many. The 5th track on Fever Dreams is Hazel Eyes. This song is about his crush and how he sees her in his eyes. She has hazel eyes that he gets lost in, and he dreams about things that he and his crush would do if they were together. For example, he says he wants to build a pillow fort, look at the stars, and dance in the dark with her. The next song, Ha Ha Hi, Boywithuke can't believe that he is really loved by a girl. He says, ain't no way she gonna be feeling what I feel, but I guess I'm not a psychic, cause she's sitting in my automobile right now. He can't believe he actually has a girlfriend that truly loves him. This track shows Boywithuke's conscience, wondering why he, out of all people, has a girlfriend. The 7th track on Fever Dreams is Kind of Sick of Life. Boywithuke continues talking about his depression and his tiredness, but he still wants to keep going and pushing on in life. The next song, Bad Luck, speaks about how Boywithuke is in love with the girl, yet he gets his feelings confused and doesn't understand if he truly loves her. An example of this would be when he states, I did not realize how much this could suck. I wish I thought through everything first, cause the further you go through, the deeper the cuts. With this line, I believe he starts dating the girl he thinks he likes, but then, after he realizes what he got into with her, he might not actually like who she truly is. Sleep Deprived tells the story of his past love who doesn't love him anymore. He still can't get over his feelings for her, and he asks questions to himself if it's right to still like her. In this song, he also drops the name of the album singing, I'm having fever dreams in my bed while I count my sheep. Forget Me isn't probably the most underrated song in the album. It sounds different from the others, having a very slow start from the beginning. In the chorus, he wants to break someone's heart to possibly be remembered. Boywithuke then goes on to say that he has been abandoned and can't forget his pain. The final song on Fever Dreams is Bok Choy. He feels lost and disconnected from his family and friends. The song looks for a sense of belonging to a group that Boywithuke is currently not a part of. So what was the point of Fever Dreams? Well, Boywithuke has said before that Fever Dreams has a wider range of emotions compared to his first album, Melatonin Dreams. The theme of suicidal thoughts are still present throughout this album, with Boywithuke getting over a broken heart and his longing to belong in society. Fever Dreams in total has 11 songs and is 30 minutes long. Overall, this album was a huge success for him, especially with the song 2 Moons. He finally did belong in society with this album. He started to become known. Boywithuke posted a TikTok showing how many streams Fever Dreams got on Spotify alone in 1 week. He got over 3.5 million streams. This was Boywithuke's new era. But what came next? Boywithuke posted one last SoundCloud exclusive song on June 9th, 2021. And it was Letter to My Future Ex. He talks about his past girlfriends and even to his future ones, saying that he can move on and fall in love again without them. He then goes on to say that he will make his ex want him again, even though he doesn't want to. He also states in the chorus, but I've made up my mind and I don't want to play guitar. This is because he only wants to play the ukulele. But this line will become very important in the near future. After this song, Boywithuke continued to post songs on TikTok. There was an account that went by the name BoyFootballs that asked for a song about toxic friends.
All my friends are toxic, all ambition is so rude and always negative.
We later found out that this was Boywithuke's second account, but he still wrote the song anyway. This song was known as Toxic. It became popular, but would only remain as a minute-long song. He continued to post more minute-long songs such as Jean Shorts, Running, and Lovesick.
You left your jeans shorts and a bottle of pills. I'll bring my PS4 and bring you all of your meals. Well, I've been feeling faded cause I'm fiending on the Hennessy. Tell everyone I made it though I'm miles from where I want to be. I told my story countless times to all these so I keep running, rolling through all these punches. These days I'm feeling nothing, one face cause I'm unconscious. I'll make it home to you. There's blood up on my t-shirt and dirt up on my body.
Boywithuke announced that the Faded EP would be coming out on September 10th, hosting 3 songs, Lovesick, Loafers, and Toxic. Lovesick was the first track on the EP speaking about coming back to someone that Boywithuke knew a long time ago and developing a romantic relationship with her. The song also talks about his mental health wanting to be normal. I've changed throughout this year so much, the who I was you won't believe, obsessed with being normal, faking cordial actions fantasies. That line shows that he's changed to become the normal that he believes is in society. The next song, Loafers, is about him recovering through a breakup. All he does is lay on the sofa thinking about her. He feels troubled and restless without her. The final song, and the most popular on the EP, is Toxic. This was Boywithuke's biggest song yet. It gained millions of views and thousands of shares. Toxic was about unhealthy relationships with his friends, hence the line, "All my friends are toxic." Boywithuke was finally in the limelight. He even caught the attention of a record company. This was Republic Records, a division of UMG Recordings. UMG first started partnering with Boywithuke for Toxic. Boywithuke even went on Genius for an open mic and a verified interview. Then Boywithuke had bigger plans. He had to come out with another album. He started posting minute-long songs again. This was Volume 3. This volume would contain the most of his songs from the next album, but we wouldn't hear anything about the album for a while. He would post these songs with some other videos of him, such as the video of him reaching 2 million followers, edits of himself, and some trends that were on TikTok at the time. Finally, we heard when the first song of the album would be coming out. January 21st, 2022 was the release date for Long Drives. Long Drives talks about Boywithuke's journeys to see his girlfriend and her crush. He wants to continue to go out with her, but then he fears that the relationship is falling out. At the end of the song, he sings, "Please don't drive away from me," asking her to stay with him in the relationship. Long Drives was also the first Boywithuke song to get an official music video. In the video, it starts with him FaceTiming the girl he has a relationship with. Eventually, he loses connection and decides to try to get a ride to go see her. A guy helps Boywithuke drive towards her home. They, of course, encountered some hiccups along the way, such as their car breaking down. They finally arrive at her house at night, and Boywithuke walks up her driveway, flowers in hand, and is about to say hi to her. He peers through the window and sees she's talking to another guy on FaceTime. He drops the flowers, walks back to the car, and he drives away in pain. He posted a video on February 2nd saying that something big is coming. He posted another video with the same concept as the video I previously played, but this time it had a caption with the chemical elements C10H12N2O. This is a chemical compound known as serotonin. The album would be known as Serotonin Dreams. Boywithuke would post one more single before the album was released. This song would be no other than IDGAF. The song was released on March 18th, 2022, and it was his second collab ever. He collabed with blackbear to create a song that spoke about the loss of love of an ex-lover. This was another hit for Boywithuke, peaking at number 99 on the Billboard Hot 100. On Spotify alone, he amassed 10 million streams in 1 week. There was also another music video for this song. It opened up with Boywithuke in a locker room. It continued the storyline from Long Drives with the same girl. Boywithuke then goes on to partner with blackbear in the gym. Blackbear is Boywithuke's coach in this video. Boywithuke then presents a slideshow titled Ways to Get Revenge. He presents 3 options. First, take him out. Second, curse him. And third, move on. Boywithuke decides to go the route of taking him out and fights a dummy in a boxing ring. The video ends with Boywithuke punching the dummy down and winning. Boywithuke had also announced that he was going on tour for the first time. He had only been going to select locations in London, the Netherlands, Germany, and the US. While he was on tour, he announced that the album would be releasing May 6, 2022. Serotonin Dreams was finally going to be out. This was Boywithuke's biggest project to date, with 3 collabs on 1 album. This album had a runtime of 31 minutes and had 11 songs. The first song in Serotonin Dreams was Far Away. Far Away spoke about a long-distance relationship and how he tries to uphold it. It eventually leads up to the next song in the album, Long Drives, which I talked about previously. The third song is Let Me Down, with his girlfriend or crush. He asks them to leave where they are because he already messed up his life again. He He knows that she won't ever let him down, and he wants to stay with her forever. The fourth song is Prairies, which is another song that Boywithuke collabed on. He partnered with MXM Tune. It serves as another love song as he is in love with a girl and he can't stop thinking about her. He has other responsibilities to take care of, but she's always on his mind. In the chorus he states, "You're driving me crazy, you're driving me mad." He shows how he is crazy in love with her and he still continues to think about her 24/7. MXM Tune's part is the relationship from the girl's point of view. She says, "Are you thinking about me or is it all just in my head?" This line shows that the girl is wondering about the boy she is in love with and if he feels the same about her. This is a common wonder in the world that many may experience, wondering if reciprocation is the same. The next song, She Said No, is a very simple concept of a heartbreak. Boywithuke, or the main character, asks a girl out and, well, she said no. Even though she acted like she liked him, like taking his coat and taking pictures with her phone, she ended up rejecting him. Heart of Ice is the sixth song in Serotonin Dreams. It continues the theme of a heartbreak. He is still so in love with the girl he likes that even when she is mean to him, as he states, wild, bitchy, impolite, he still loves her and doesn't think twice about the relationship. Throughout the other verses, he seems to regret that he had fallen for her and thought she could take him out of a dark place he was stuck in. Turns out, it just pushed him deeper into that place. The seventh song was the second single, IDGAF. Now the eighth song is the final collab in Serotonin Dreams. Contigo is in collaboration with Palfu. Contigo is Spanish for with you. Boywithuke wants to be the only one with his crush, but only if she agrees. In the third verse, Boywithuke sings, "I'm falling for the beat, trying to figure how to breathe," expressing the emotional turmoil he is in and how he's struggling to cope. Understand is another popular song in Serotonin Dreams. Boywithuke partnered with Genius for another open mic and verified interview for this track. He explains that the song is about his mental health and making sense of a failed relationship. In the second verse, Boywithuke states, "On an island full of violence, in my head I had two pilots." He talks about Josh Dun and Tyler Joseph making a reference to their band, 21 Pilots. Speaking of 21 Pilots, if you want to see a Musician Theory video on them in the near future, like this video and subscribe so you don't miss another Musician Theory. Understand also has a music video. It shows himself as a child from 2012 picking up a ukulele and forming the idea of a mask. As soon as he strums the uke, he gets teleported to a Tonight Show set. He sees Boywithuke talk to the host as they film the show, and soon he realizes that he can't be seen by others, as if he's a ghost. Boywithuke walked off stage as they finished filming the show. His younger self follows. It turns out that Boywithuke can see his younger self and takes off the mask in front of him, cutting it where the audience can't see who he truly is, of course. He and his younger self mess around on the set, and then his younger self wakes up. He sees the mask next to him and realizes who he will be in the future. The 10th song in the album is Scared of the Dark. Boywithuke expresses to his love that they can go wherever together and shows his desire for connection. Dark could be a metaphor for the unknown, difficult times that they may face. The final song on the album is a song that I've already gone over as it was in Faded. It would be no other than Toxic. Serotonin Dreams was finally closed with his most popular song. Serotonin Dreams was Boywithuke's biggest album with 3 collabs and 3 major songs that shot his career upwards. Serotonin Dreams follows a different story from the other 2 albums, with the first 4 tracks showing a long-distance relationship. The 5th song, She Said No, is about rejection, which brings a series of tracks that cover post-breakup emotions. Serotonin Dreams was the album that really brought Boywithuke into the spotlight, but what was gonna come next? On Boywithuke's TikTok, he continued to post videos about his tour, and even on YouTube he made a skit showing us his tour bus.
Oh hey, didn't see you there. This is our bus. Come on, follow me and I'll show you around. So this is our sleeping area. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. This is my bed. Very ergonomically shaped for my body. Yeah.
Exactly 3 months after Serotonin Dreams, he revealed that a new single named Sick of You would be dropping soon. He would be collabing with yet another artist, Oliver Tree. Sick of You would come out on September 30th, 2022, along with the music video. The music video would be based off the 2000 horror film American Psycho. The song speaks about a toxic relationship with an ex that has caused significant emotional damage. After Sick of You, we'd be waiting months on what the next song would be, but finally we learned something. On January 16th, 2023, he told us that he was going to be releasing a new single. Little did he know that Rockstar would change his career forever. BoyWithuke first started marketing Rockstar with a TikTok released on January 16th. He got a mysterious text from an unknown number telling him to meet at the park in an hour. BoyWithuke got ready, drove to the park, and set up to film a minute-long song for Rockstar itself. Sort of a fourth wall kind of video. Then, at the end of the TikTok, we see a camera looking at BoyWithuke from the distance. The next part of his TikTok started off with BoyWithuke getting another text to meet at a certain location. BoyWithuke ran there, finally reaching the location out of breath. He reaches for the door handle and opens it. He walks in, and then it says to be continued in the final part. The final part is posted on BoyWithuke's YouTube labeled as The Death of BoyWithuke. It shows him walking into a warehouse-type building. He walks up to another person, being another BoyWithuke. This is BoyWithuke's doppelganger. They do make up and dance around together to Rockstar. At the end, the doppelganger dies, making it the end of the trailer for Rockstar. Now a week has gone by, and Rockstar finally came out. It was his first single of 2023, and there was going to be a music video for it too. Rockstar is about the desire for fame and impressing a girl. He wants expensive things, such as a Bentley or a nice Porsche. Yet he still wants a lover. He states, "I don't want the fame, I just want you." He could be talking about a girl that he wished he had a relationship with, yet he was just doing all these famous things to impress her. The fame persona of BoyWithuke may not be for him. In the Rockstar music video, it starts off as a commercial set. BoyWithuke is the main character presenting some shoes, the Uke Stars. He's marketing the Uke Stars as they are on sale for only $12.99. They cut for the first commercial, and they make sure his outfit is still perfect for TV. The crew plays a prank on him, serving him a dish with a VHS tape in it. It says his music sucks, and the crew all laughs at him. BoyWithuke then goes back to his trailer, throwing around everything from his enragement. The security guards bust into his trailer looking for him, yet BoyWithuke manages to sneak out the back. They see him and chase him around the set as if it's like a cartoon chase. BoyWithuke runs into a dark room. He runs into a girl from the set. They introduce themselves, and they ask each other what they are doing there. Ellie is the girl's name, and she says she's running away from who she's supposed to be. BoyWithuke says he thinks he's running away from who he thought he should be. The security guards run into the room finding BoyWithuke. They make him continue the commercial, but he finally breaks and smashes the ukulele on the ground. The security guards finally have had enough, grab him, and throw him out of the set. This was the end of Rockstar. BoyWithuke had continued to post TikToks, and he even started a new volume of minute-long songs. BoyWithuke started Volume 4 off to a good start, showing some songs that were sure to become popular. This was BoyWithuke's most liked volume of minute-long songs. The track list for the songs were Greener, I Don't Think We Can Be Friends, Out of Reach, Runaway, Nosedive, Miami, Issues, King of Nothing, Hopeless Romantic featuring Marshmello, Affection, I Don't Mind, Problematic, Blind, Wait For You, Terrified, and finally, Dear Hollywood, also called City of Angels. My favorite minute-long song had to be Runaway and or Dear Hollywood. BoyWithuke had also announced an EP named Antisocial would be coming out on February 24th. It would host 3 songs, Rockstar, I Don't Think We Can Be Friends, and Nosedive. I Don't Think We Can Be Friends is about a failed relationship. BoyWithuke states, half of my heart wants what we had again. I don't think we can be friends. He shows how half of him still wants to be in a relationship with somebody, yet the other half of his heart isn't letting him. He knows that it's best that they don't be friends. In the lyric video, we see a wall throughout the video alluding to 5 things. The wall says, Toby was here, migraine, king of nothing, get her, and tour soon. These statements tease future releases and events BoyWithuke may be planning. The next song, Nosedive, speaks about BoyWithuke growing up. He realizes that school hasn't prepared him for the real world and he feels lost. He states in the bridge, "I don't want to fake it, I just have to make it up as long as it goes." He wants the feeling of making it in life, yet he just has to make it up as long as he's living. In the lyric video for Nosedive, we see more writings on the wall. The writings say, "Tour soon, King of Nothing, Migraine, You Will Never Be Normal, Meow, and Lucy." We could tell that he would definitely be going on tour sometime soon. When? We'd have to see. He also kept teasing the two songs King of Nothing and Migraine, which would mean they would be getting released as well. The name Lucy could mean anything, but it was also cut off, so it could spell out something else. We learned from a minute-long song from Volume 4 that the word meow means please end my suffering. This could mean anything, but the most realistic thing is that Boywithuke was going through a rough time. He posted a video on March 17th telling us that his song, Out of Reach, would be dropping on April 7th. He kept promoting the song until it was finally out. Out of Reach is about Boywithuke's feelings towards a girl he loves. He can't stop thinking about her and wishes he could know her better. He wishes she would recognize the attention he is giving her and understand that he likes her. Out of Reach also had a lyric video. It had more words written on the walls. This time it had two different things. Album Soon and Lucid Dreams was written in the background. The word Lucy that I talked about earlier was actually Lucid Dreams. This had to be the name of the album. It would fit his other albums continuing the Dream saga. Boywithuke had announced that a Roblox concert would be happening soon. It would feature his popular songs Toxic and IDGAF, but also his newest, Out of Reach. Boywithuke posted a video on May 5th, 2023 titled, "You Guys Made This Possible." The video was about him announcing his first world tour. He was going to Australia, Asia, Europe, USA, and the UK. He would start his tour on May 28th and end it on October 3rd. Boywithuke is bound to release Lucid Dream soon, but we were stuck with when. He continued to post TikToks about his tour, the Grimace Shake, and even the acoustic version of Out of Reach.
I'm Boywithuke, and today we're gonna be trying the Grimace Shake, and I think it's gonna be pretty good. So let's give it a shot. Okay, that's that.
On July 21st, we got a video titled "New Song Dropping August 4th." It was the release date of a song. We were waiting months and we finally heard something about a potential release date for Lucid Dreams. In the video, he showed himself looking in a mirror and words floating around his head. Then a stick figure popped up, making the video distorted. Boywithuke had announced that the single, Trauma, would be dropping August 4th and that there was more to come. 10 days later, on August 1st, he posted a weird TikTok that showed the release date for Lucid Dreams, October 6th. October 6th was the release date for Boywithuke's most anticipated album. Trauma released on August 4th, and it was about, of course, trauma. Boywithuke had experienced trauma when he was little. He said it was his most personal song to date, and it describes a lot about his childhood. There was a music video that came out with Trauma. The video opens up at a house party with some people about to fight. Boywithuke hops in to film, and they accidentally punch him, knocking him out. His mask fades to black, and we see a flashback. It's him as a child, when his mom is picking him up from school. He hops out of the car and starts to run away, most likely from his problems. There's another flashback to when he is Boywithuke and he and his friend is on a railroad track. It shows a shopping cart, which is a homage to the Melatonin Dreams album cover. It cuts back to him as a child. He was in the bathroom in high school getting bullied. The two bullies take the younger Boywithuke and dunk his head in the toilet. Meanwhile, the people at the party are trying to wake him up, splashing him with water and wiping him down with a towel. We see another memory of Boywithuke playing soccer, but then he gets a leg injury. It cuts back to the party and someone tries to take off his mask. The mask shocks both that person and Boywithuke. It cuts between a bunch of memories of himself in high school, elementary school, on the soccer field, and even with his girlfriend in his car. A medic gets to the house and uses a pulse machine to help Boywithuke. Eventually, he wakes up and everyone is relieved he is awake. The end cuts to him looking in a mirror, seeing stick figures, a main component of Lucid Dreams. When Trauma came out, the full track list was revealed on Apple Music. The track list was separated into two parts. The first part had 6 songs: Migraine, Problematic, Bad Blood, Baby Doll, Rockstar, and Bluu. The second part had 8 songs: Lucid Interlude, Bad Things, Camouflage, Nightmare, Trauma, Before I Die, Homesick, and the most teased one, King of Nothing. Boywithuke had then released Volume 5 of minute-long songs, showcasing most of the songs in Lucid Dreams. Boywithuke would then release a project named Boywithuke Origins. Episode 1 was named Toby. A young version of Boywithuke was filming a TikTok in the library. Someone picks up his phone and smashes his uke. Then it shows him in his bedroom. You can hear yelling in the background. He puts on a mask and we hear a voice. It's a voice that is in a condescending tone. This is Toby. The young Boywithuke talks to Toby, telling him to fix the ukulele. There's stick figures on the uke showing him how to fix it. Some of Boywithuke's music plays in the background, such as Psycho and Bok Choy. He fixes the uke with a bunch of duct tape. Toby laughs at the attempt to fix the ukulele and then says to play something. He plays something on the uke, and then someone bangs and yells, "Hey, shut up, we're trying to talk here." The voice sounds similar to the real Boywithuke, so I think it could be him saying that line. The young Boywithuke says he doesn't want to be there anymore, and Toby tells him how he can leave. He looks at a picture, and then he is outside. Then, the episode ends. The Boywithuke origin videos are pretty interesting so far. It's exactly 1 month before the album releases, and everybody is wondering what the Origins project means. A week later, we get the second episode. This time, its title is Lucid. The young Boywithuke walks down the sidewalk and bumps into 2 people. They ask for an apology, and he just shrugs it off. They see that he is a musician with a ukulele, and they start bullying him. They said that they've seen him before as the NPC kid from TikTok. He tries to take back the mask, but the bullies make him play something for them. He puts on the mask, and Toby starts to talk again. He kicks one of the bullies in the crotch, and he runs away. The bullies chase after the young Boywithuke, teasing him along the way. Toby also says that he shouldn't be running like this since he's too short. Toby teleports both of them into a church, where the door opens ominously. He runs in, and the bullies follow. Episode 2 then ends. 2 days later, Boywithuke drops a release date for Migraine. September 22nd was when the highly anticipated Migraine would come out. Migraine came out with a music video. Migraine speaks about how he feels sick of being judged and controlled by others. It is also about his journey to the charts. He feels stressed trying to be famous, yet nobody remembers him. The music video opens up with Boywithuke running in an insane asylum. He hides behind a wall from the giant Boywithuke guards outside. He walks through the building, and he sees outfits from his past music videos and TikToks. There are other Boywithuke characters on bikes riding towards the real Boywithuke. These other variations of him can be his problems chasing him and or the people who he is being controlled by. He then gets cornered, and they put a bag over his head. He then gets strapped to a chair, having tests done. The Boywithuke scientists seem to take tests comparing the real Boywithuke to the other variations from his other videos. The Boywithuke from Long Drives is labeled as too cringe, and the one from Sick of You is too violent. Boywithuke then gets slapped, and he finds himself in front of a mirror. A doppelganger Boywithuke pops out of that mirror and begins to fight him. One of the Boywithukes got beaten and then danced on. Then it cuts to the third verse of the song. Boywithuke lifts up his mask partly so you could see his mouth. He sings the third verse entirely in front of the mannequins from the other music videos. Then the lights flash and the mannequins become real Boywithukes. The real Boywithuke is surrounded by them, holding signs that say, "This is all a dream," and "Wake up." Then they all do the Spider-Man point and hug each other. They dance together to Migraine, and then as the song ends, they all merge back into the real Boywithuke. The video ends with him lifting up the mask, taking it off fully. His face is blurred out, of course, since we can't know who he truly is. The end credits scene shows Boywithuke walking out and seeing the kid from the Origins videos. His younger self takes off the mask and runs away, while the older Boywithuke looks around and shrugs it off. 4 days after Migraine, Boywithuke posts the third and final Origins video. The third episode was Wide Awake. It opens up with young Boywithuke running into the church and hiding. The bullies yell, wanting him to come out. Toby then speaks and tells young Boywithuke that he's not in control, but just along for the ride. He tricks the bullies into thinking that he's behind the altar when he actually just went into the next room. They find the room and chase him into the kitchen area. The young Boywithuke picks up the uke and is about to hit the bullies with it. They dodge it, and then they start beating him up. He then sees the real Boywithuke talk to the bullies and makes them get out of there. Boywithuke ends the series with carrying his younger self on a street as King of Nothing plays in the background. There are about 20 stick figures that travel with them too. He shows his younger self a scar, and his younger self sees that he has the same gash in the exact same spot. Boywithuke then says, "It's time to wake up, bud," and then he wakes up in his bed. This time, it's the adult Boywithuke. He picks up the mask that's on his nightstand, sighs, and then it ends.
It's time to wake up, bud.
This was the end of Boywithuke Origins. It was fantastic marketing for Lucid Dreams, which would be coming out in 9 days. On October 4th, Boywithuke had collabed with Anthony Padilla. It's a 20-minute interview. He talked about times that he had on tour and even about the album some. He had said that Lucid Dreams was his most personal album to date. He had also wrapped up his tour on October 4th, posting that his album was dropping in 2 days. Now that leads us to his highly anticipated album, Lucid Dreams. It hosted 14 songs and had a runtime of 39 minutes. The first song in the album was Migraine, which I talked about previously. The next song, and my personal favorite, is Problematic. This song had been teased since February. Problematic is about a girl that he had liked, but then she stabbed him in the back. She forgot his name and turned out to be dating another guy. The pre-chorus sums up the song perfectly, saying, "I thought that maybe you could be the final effing remedy, the one to pull me out if I were ever stuck inside a dream." He thought of this girl as his anchor to reality, but turns out she was not at all. Problematic also has a music video for it. It starts off with a guy and a girl in a car driving down a road to nowhere. Boywithuke is seen in the trunk tied up, so they can use him for clout. They make him do various skits, like him dancing in a real-life scroll cutout from TikTok. They are filming him while pointing a gun at him, making Boywithuke have no choice. He is then handcuffed to a kitchen cabinet. His old lover brought him a singular chicken nugget to eat, which he graciously accepts. He sees her yell at her new boyfriend, seeing her feel guilty doing this to him. The boyfriend shoots a 6-shooter pistol at Boywithuke and also smashes bottles on his head. The boyfriend eventually gets so drunk that he passes out, and the girlfriend sets Boywithuke free. He runs away, looking back one last time to see his ex get shot in the head by the boyfriend. He then finds a horse stable and gets on a horse to leave the area. At the end, we could see Boywithuke take off the mask and walk away into the sunset, leaving it behind. He kept teasing a face reveal more and more, and this was a sign that he might do it sooner than we think. The next song is Bad Blood, another personal favorite. It keeps a pretty simple concept of how he hates his girlfriend since they've changed so much. He thinks they are no longer compatible together. He then makes a reference to blood type, singing, "ABOB, bitch, I don't bleed." This makes Bad Blood truly bad blood. Also, as a side note, I think Boywithuke's version is way better than Taylor Swift's by 100 times. Just saying. The third song in Lucid Dreams is Baby Doll. The song speaks about a girl he used to love. She was the right one for him, but just at the wrong time. He wants to move on from her. This is also a reference to one of Boywithuke's favorite artists, Dominic Fike's Baby Doll. Speaking about Dominic Fike, if you want to see a video on him in the near future, like this video and subscribe for more musician replays. The fifth song is Rockstar, which I talked about earlier in the video. The sixth song, and the last song on the first disc of Lucid Dreams, is Bluu. Bluu speaks about his emotional turmoil and his past love, using the blind minute-long song as the third verse. The first song on the second disc and the 7th track in the album is Lucid Interlude. This song connects the 2 discs together, showing that Boywithuke has woken up and he doesn't feel fear anymore. Bad Things is about his exploration of personal struggles. He expresses how a loved one helps him cope with the struggles of bad things. Bad Things overall is about his mental health and his love that helps with struggles. The 9th song, Camouflage, speaks about the struggle for his love life. The camouflage is an emotional barrier that he can't get behind to share his true feelings. He speaks about his internal conflict between expressing love and fear of vulnerability. The next song is Nightmare. Nightmare shows Boywithuke's conflict after a breakup. He admits to being too emotional and impulsive, unable to find peace. The chorus shows his pain when he sees his ex happy without him. As he states in the bridge, "Why do I try? I don't know why. I want to fall in love. I want to die every time I see you popping up." He shows how he feels sad each time she pops up on social media. He wishes he had still been together with her, and he can't get her off his mind. The 11th song is the second single from Lucid Dreams, Trauma. The 12th song is Before I Die. It was an official version of the minute-long song Cocoon. The song is about his thoughts on thinking he'll die before he's 24. He has desires for materialistic things such as money, marriage, and divorce. He wants to truly feel the highs and lows of life all before he dies. Before I Die also has a music video that released October 18th. It shows that anyone could be behind the mask no matter who and what they look like. The 13th song on the album is Homesick. This was Boywithuke's personal favorite. Homesick speaks about his connections that feel distant to him. He says it's been a long time since he had seen someone important to him, either talking about after a breakup and or while he was on tour. He says that he's always busy and can't balance personal relationships with his work. Boywithuke longs for a place that is his home. Homesick got a music video for it as well. The video was released 3 days after Lucid Dreams on October 9th. The music video opens up with the roaring of a crowd from one of his concerts. Then the video goes through his life ever since he was a baby. He shows a video of himself with his mom on November 8th, 2002, 3 months after he was born. Boywithuke shows times of himself in hotels and out with his friends. He shows the struggle he goes through during those times, maybe longing for a home. He shows videos of himself getting ready for concerts and him throwing pillows around his hotels. During the instrumental part of Homesick, it cuts to an interview that he held, speaking about his career over the years. For the outro of the song, it cuts from the studio version to the live version that he played at Seoul, South Korea. The video ends with the crowd cheering for Boywithuke and him thanking them. The credits play, and there was a little bit of time after this. A video plays of a man laying up against the wall. He then looks at the camera. This is Boywithuke. His name was Charlie Yang, and he was Boywithuke. This was the first time we ever got to see a face reveal from him. Everyone at the premiere of Homesick was shocked. We didn't know if it was truly him. On the 10th of October, he put out an official statement talking about his face reveal. He thanked everyone for all his support, and he said that the stress of meeting new people, hiding who he truly was hard on him. At the end of the statement, he taunted the people who threatened his face reveal, saying that he beat them to it. The final song in Lucid Dreams was King of Nothing. It was a song that he had shown in a minute-long song over a year ago. It was finally released. It talks about Boywithuke's feelings of his success, yet he still feels empty and lost inside. The rap verse of the song shows his past self, a time before wealth, and how he still wants to remain authentic to himself and his fans. The music video for King of Nothing was the first official video that showed his face for the full video. He dressed up some mannequins, like the ones from Migraine, and the outfits from his other music videos. Boywithuke pans through a slideshow that is like the Marvel intro, showing pictures and events throughout his career. He then drops the sledgehammer down and runs around with it in front of all the mannequins. The screen then has a strobe effect, and he smashes all the mannequins into pieces. He puts all the pieces into a pile, putting the mask on last, and then he leaves. Charlie had finally gotten away from the mask. He would make one final announcement for 2023. He was going on tour again, this time for Lucid Dreams in 2024. He posted one last TikTok in 2023 on November 19th. He took off his mask at a show in Mexico, thanked everyone, and said everything will be okay. Boywithuke had posted a video in this story showing a new song that he was working on after the album. This was known as Pitfall.
What's that got to do with me? How the fuck do I let go?
This would be a song that many people would be highly looking forward to in the future. In November 2023, he had also posted a video titled, "I Made This Song in a Day." This song would be known as Stranger, and many grew a liking to it. After November, we would be waiting for new content for a while. On January 24th, 2024, Boywithuke went live on TikTok. In this TikTok livestream, he had been waiting to go on the Lucid Dreams tour, which started in Europe in February and continued across the United States in April. He decided to play some scrapped and unreleased songs that day. Some of those songs would include Dear Hollywood,
Don't care how many girls you've kissed, how many lives you've influenced. You're just like everybody else. I don't get bitches, I get money. Got real friends who think I'm funny.
Lifeline,
There's like 3 different songs in this one.
Monster,
And all the people ask is, can I be like you?
Out of Time,
Out of time. Used to be all of the time.
Burn, Can You Feel It,
In blinds, but I can't find my way around.
Ghost, Stranger,
She from Manhattan, but I smell the cat from down in Staten. She want the 7-figure package, I'm not finished packing. I used to think I didn't wanna chase the bag, but a sellout with no soul is akin to what I had. Fucking this bitch out on the internet, she's fucking
and Miami.
Everybody's feet on the dashboard. I don't wanna ask for it when I'm playing Simon Says. I feel a bit of pressure wearing cardigans and sweaters on the dance floor, standing on my own 2 legs.
Rome in Miami. I hope you
There were many more that he played that day as well. This was Boywithuke's most popular live stream and would go down in history for sure. Boywithuke would then go on tour. He would post some videos on his TikTok. One of these videos would be with the release of the Apple Vision Pro. He wore it to one of his concerts just for fun. He also started to play unreleased songs at the concerts just like he did with Lucid Dreams. The songs would be Can You Feel It, Ghost, Backseat, and Easier. He would post a TikTok on May 13th of an announcement. Can You Feel It would be coming out May 31st, 2024. It was his first song after having a face reveal. It was his first song after 238 days. It was finally here. Can You Feel It came out and it also had a music video with it. Boywithuke explained the lyrics of it in a TikTok live on June 25th. In the first verse, he speaks about an experience he had in a hotel room. His stomach didn't feel well, and he took something to help, although he couldn't feel it helping yet. This line would also correlate with, Aren't I supposed to feel it now? In the chorus, he continues the story of the food and how he felt. He started to feel very weird, and he was also anxious, wanting to know what others were thinking. In the second verse, he talks about what had happened to him recently after the face reveal. The line, Wondering how to spend my million hours, why you calling, talks about the free time he had before the Lucid Dreams tour. It also tells how he had people trying to come back into his life, not for him, but for what he has done as Boywithuke. Another line, Got no AC in my room, was true a few months ago, as he lived in an apartment without any air conditioning. He also gave a shout out to his apartment's cats, Verlaine and Ribald. The other part of the chorus has a reference to 2 moons with him falling through the corridors. In the hook, he says he has a light in his bedroom that makes it look like they're stars. He also talks about color mixing, with the sheets on his bed being blue and the red lights making them together look purple. The lines, I'm alone but I know that I won't do nothing to hold you back, speak about how he has to be who he wants to be and not let his past hold him back. This line will be very important in the future. The outro is supposed to be his younger self, as he doesn't think the same way as he did back then. He used to think that he wouldn't live past a certain age, and for him, it was 24. He also knows that it's just in his mind, but sometimes it's hard for him to see that. Eventually he realizes that at the end of the day, no one really cares, and he also didn't want to be what Boywithuke was at the time. He didn't want to be stuck behind the mask, and he wanted to make music that he wanted to make. In the music video for Can You Feel It, he is seen passing out in an alleyway, falling on garbage, and an hourglass breaking. The hourglass symbolizes the wait for new music finally being over. Then he is out on the street smoking a cigarette. He has said before that he doesn't smoke, so it's most likely the prop cigarettes. He then opens a garage door with the mask popping over his face for a brief second. He walks in and there's another guy there getting ready to fight. Boywithuke had said this portion of the music video was particularly inspired from Fight Club. The person eventually knocks Charlie out and a group of masked people surround him. One of the people pull up their mask and it is himself, most likely a younger version. They take him away and load him into the van. They then offload him into the garbage from the start of the music video. This video is sort of a loop with the end of the video showing the very beginning. Boywithuke would then go on vacation from his tour, giving us occasional TikToks here and there. Finally though, on July 11th, 2024, we got the first minute-long song of 2024. This was Ghost. We had heard this song fully at his concerts, but we were all waiting for the official version and a potential music video. In the title of the video was the release date for Ghost. It was August 1st, which was actually the first time a song had been released on a Thursday by Boywithuke. He would then go on to post a behind the scenes of filming a music video and another video leaking the tracklist for this highly anticipated album. In a folder he was opening to promote Ghost was the title of a potential album name, Synthwave. This was most likely a throw-off as he had previously teased another name, Burnout. In the tracklist there were about 14 songs, the same amount as Lucid Dreams. The tracklist was as follows:
Can You Feel It, Burn, Ghost, Gaslight, Stranger, Backseat, Coffee, Paper Planes, Petrichor Interlude, Corduroy, and Pitfall. Now we can only make out 11 of those songs, but people had speculated that Love Lost and Easier wasn't there and had to be part of the last 3 songs that were missing. We later learned that Love Lost and Easier were both on the album, and the final song would be Change. August 1st was on the horizon, and it had finally come. The music video for Ghost and the official song had come out. Boywithuke had even gone on Genius to do a verified and an open mic. In the Genius Verified, he explained what Ghost was about. The title starts with meaning. It can mean 2 things. First, getting ghosted, and second, having a relationship, thinking there was something between 2 people, but in reality, there truly wasn't. The chorus is a response to one of Charlie's favorite songs, Bad Habit by Steve Lacy. He knows he should have told the person he liked that he wanted them, but they fell out of love with the relationship, just like ghosting. The first verse speaks about Boywithuke's life, and if he doesn't have a partner, then there's no point of buying expensive things, as he can't show them off to her. The line, I'm ex nihilo like Augustine, talks about his experience and his career, feeling like it started out of nothing, which is what ex nihilo means, out of nothing. He continues to make reference to his song 2 Moons, saying, I keep seeing 2 moons in my dreams, can you tell me what they really mean? The bridge allows for the slow dance type of song to merge into a higher pitch, more pop-like song. The second verse talks about how the person someone adores, the ghost, enters the room and they chase you out as they might be wanting to come back to you. Finally, the outro talks about Boywithuke's real life experiences and his insecurities. He has been told that sometimes he can be weird, unintentionally of course, and he doesn't want to be seen as needy. At the end, he wanted to end with a final plot twist. He was the ghost that was chasing himself the entire time. The final line, I think she thinks I'm on the spectrum, I'm pretty sure she wants to leave, and I don't blame her, talks about some date experiences he had in the past, with the people thinking he was autistic, although he hadn't been diagnosed with anything. The music video for Ghost starts off with Boywithuke outside of a karaoke bar. It starts off with a ghostly feel, and he is in the corner singing. We then see a new character, a blonde woman, sit down at the bar. She is wearing sunglasses and studies Charlie. He continues to sing, and she takes notes on him in a pocketbook. He then gets more into the song and steps off the stage into the crowd to sing. He eventually gets back on the stage, and the woman closes the notebook. On the cover, it was an hourglass symbol, just like there was in Can You Feel It? The screen flashes a hypnotic symbol on the karaoke screen to the beat of the song. Boywithuke then jumps on the seat of the bar. He holds a real hourglass and begins to fumble around the place, knocking down others' drinks as if he's drunk or hypnotized. He has a fight with the security guards and they throw him out of the bar. He starts running down the street and ends up in an alley. He looks up at the sky and sees 2 moons. He then starts to float and fly above the city. The camera lens then pans to a close-up of his eye, where all of the floating was just an hallucination. Boywithuke then passes out on the wet ground of the alley. The woman we saw earlier walks down the alley and drops Charlie's jacket on top of him and hands him a letter. The letter has a symbol. This symbol would be no other than the hourglass. Later that day, after the release of Ghost, Boywithuke had posted an Instagram post announcing something people had been waiting months for. He had announced his 5th studio album, Burnout. It would be releasing November 15th, 2024. Something about this announcement, though, was different. He had said he wanted to let go. Burnout was going to be his last project as Boywithuke. This means he was going to have a name change, but he hadn't announced it quite yet. August was a huge month for Charlie. He started posting minute-long songs again. He started on August 16th with the song originally known as Flowers. On August 19th, he posted a very special video. If you don't know, in the Boywithuke community, it is a running joke to ask him to make a song about going to the store and getting some eggs. I guess he was so bored with the time, he finally decided to make it. Sadly, the egg song would not be on the album. The song talked about him waking up in the morning, making a bowl of oats and lemonade. He then goes on to sing,
You've been waiting for this chorus that I f***ing hate.
He then goes to Walmart to buy some eggs and brings them back home to make some omelets. Sadly, he would only make a minute-long song, but maybe under his new name, we can get him to make a full version. On August 20th, he posted another minute-long song known as Coffee. This was the first time we heard this song, and we could already tell it was going to be an extremely good album. A day later, he would post another song, Corduroy. He's played this song on TikTok Lives before, and many people have grown a liking to it. On August 22nd, he posted another minute-long song that we've been waiting to hear since October 2023. It was another snippet of Pitfall. Pitfall had become super popular already, with it having 600,000 views on TikTok alone. Now, if you opened up Boywithuke's SoundCloud on August 29th, you would be extremely confused why there were 18 new songs that had been re-released. Boywithuke must have unprivated these songs since he knew Boywithuke was coming to an end. These 18 songs would include Hot Dog, Your Time's Up, Never Ever 3, Vocabulary, Cauliflower Broccoli, Melancholic, Help My Dentist Is Evil, Orange Juice, Dead a Little Sooner, Poopy Snow, Strange, For Nobody I Know, Low-Key Into You, I'm a Baby for This, Sunday, Poser Boy, Alien, and finally, No Fear. He had originally set it up to be 2 albums and 4 different singles. The first album started with Hot Dog. This was the earliest song as we know. This is what started it all. It came out on March 10th, 2019. It starts with him heating up a hot dog in a microwave and eating it. He then goes on to talk about his life, having suicidal thoughts, and his love life. The next song came out 6 days later on March 16th. Your Time's Up is more of a joke song, as it appears in a playlist made by Boywithuke called No Genre/Jokes. In the song, it could be talking about his life as it might end soon, and his time might be up. Never Ever 3 came out on March 25th, and it talked about his life living at home with his parents. The line, "It will never happen, that's why I'm down and rappin'," may talk about love interest and or a job that he wanted. Vocabulary came out, and it talks about his experience in high school and him using a big words that he doesn't even know what they mean. He says that he will use big words around his parents so they don't know that he works at a low-paying job. He talks about people who he dislikes in high school, calling them assholes. Cauliflower Broccoli is a pretty short song. It could possibly be about a love interest, as he says, "You can fall asleep on my shoulder, use the broccoli and gently hold her." It doesn't have much info on it, as it has been privated for so many years. On May 2nd, Melancholic came out. Boywithuke could be referring to himself in the third person, saying that he can't smile and that he's hit rock bottom. Help My Dentist Is Evil is the last song on the album. This is more of a joke where he talks about an experience at the dentist. The experience was most likely made up, but he was getting dissed by the dentist for not cleaning his teeth well. The second album that was re-released on August 29th was the album with the same cover as the first known SoundCloud exclusive, Late Night Snacks. The first song on the album came out on July 5th, 2019, and is Orange Juice. It is quite literally about orange juice. It goes well with the egg song as he wakes up in the morning and drinks orange juice with lots of pulp. Dead a Little Sooner is next, talking about his life, wanting to be dead a little bit sooner, as his life may get hard in the future. He thinks he's going to have a horrible health and he will fall down once more. Poopy Snow. Yes, Poopy Snow is the third song from the album. He isn't sure what to think of himself and he's not sure how to feel. He doesn't want to die alone and live his life as things might get better, as he might have gotten a partner during this time. Strange is another song that the chorus is the same chorus from Boywithuke's hit song, 2 Moons. It follows the same plot as he isn't sure how to feel. He makes a reference to Help My Dentist Is Evil by saying, "I don't want to visit my dentist, I'm scared of him." For Nobody I Know is the 5th song and has the same lyrics of Tired of Wanting You from the True Via EP. It has a different beat and is shorter than the full version, but it still shows how he wants to get in a relationship with someone instead of just longing for them. Low-Key Into You is a song many have been wanting a full version for years since he has made it a minute-long song. He talks about liking a girl and wanting to be with them, but he can't do anything, so he might as well stop thinking about her. The final song on the album is I'm a Baby for This. He talks about writing a love song and how he feels wrong for doing so. He feels like the girl he likes hasn't shown any signs of liking him. In the outro of the song, he plays the first verse from the previously talked about song, Hot Dog. Boywithuke would then go on to release an EP, once again exclusively to SoundCloud, called Home. This would come out on August 2nd, 2020. It would have 4 songs, Sunday, Poser Boy, Alien, and No Fear. Sunday uses the first part from his first popular song from Melatonin Dreams, Blurry Nights. The chorus repeats the lines, "I'm so sad and lonely," showing how Boywithuke truly felt. These earlier songs didn't have a lot of wordplay and meaning that his current songs do, such as Ghost. Sunday is very straight to the point, telling you exactly how he feels. Poser Boy is the second song, having the beat with a more of an Oliver Tree type feel. Speaking of Oliver Tree, if you'd like to see a video on him and more, like and subscribe for more Musician Replays. Poser Boy talks about himself losing control of his life, working a 9 to 5, and being a total catastrophe. Alien is the third track on the Home EP. It has an unearthly feel to the song, making it truly feel alien-esque. The third verse, I wrote what you call a song, in 10 less days it's twice as long, become withdrawn, inevitability prolonged, really shows the alien inside of Boywithuke, using alien-type language with the what you call a song. The final song on the album is No Fear. No Fear shows how he doesn't want to show his fear to a particular being. This could be Toby, his darker self, or his nightmares. After the re-release of his SoundCloud exclusives, on September 2nd, 2024, Charlie posted a new minute-long song. This was from his song Burn that would be coming out with Burnout. He showed many pictures of himself from his concerts, and the lyrics I Won't Let It Burn Out play in the background. A few weeks later, on September 24th, Boywithuke would announce another single from Burnout. This was Gaslight. Gaslight was originally Rogue Capara's scrap song, but then they came to an agreement where Charlie could use it. Time passed until October 11th, 2024. This was the release of Gaslight. The song talks about a relationship with a significant other and or his younger self, Toby. The line, even if you were my world, I'll just numb myself with work, shows how he got over his failed relationship, drowning himself with work to get his mind off of it. The chorus's lines says, rather die and be alone than to love and be in pain. This shows how he'd rather live a life alone than to love someone that doesn't love him back. The outro to the song is crazy, saying how he'll dance on top of someone's grave and that he'll sleep with their sister. Gaslight was the third and final single before Burnout's release. Gaslight also has a music video. It starts with Charlie sitting in a booth at a 70s style diner, drinking a cup of coffee. He had opened the letter from the end of Ghost. Inside of it had an address of 1830 North Sheffield Drive at 11:15 p.m. It was a meetup hosted by someone. The waitress came over to fill up his coffee a bit more, and Boywithuke is seen looking at the waitress. He continues waiting in the diner, and he looks at the waitress one last time. Out of nowhere, Toby pops up holding a knife and waving. Boywithuke then freaks out and starts hiding in the booth. The hallucination goes away, and he sits back up seeing everyone else being normal. He gets up and heads towards the door, with others looking at him confusingly. He walks out of the diner, and Toby can be seen peering out the windows behind him. Boywithuke is walking down a street, and in the shadow you can see Toby reach up to stab Boywithuke. Boywithuke runs away from Toby, chasing each other down the street. Boywithuke runs into a building, leans against a wall, and covers his bloody wound in the chest. He then runs out again as Toby continues to chase him. He opens a garage door to see a shopping cart on fire. Toby and Boywithuke are then seen fighting each other for the knife next to the burning shopping cart. Boywithuke manages to grab the knife from Toby and goes in to stab him. The screen then shows the mask burning inside of the cart. It flashes back to Boywithuke and he is holding the knife. Toby had disappeared, and then Boywithuke continued to walk away. Charlie finds a bike on the side of the road and starts riding down the street as the song slowly fades. After Gaslight, we would be waiting 5 weeks until Burnout. So finally, it was the day. November 15th, 2024, Burnout had come out with a music video, but we'll get to that later. The tracklist would first start with Can You Feel It, which we discussed earlier. The next song, Burn, was the song that he teased back in January. It was a lot more structured than we thought, having multiple verses as we thought it was just going to be an interlude. Burn can be interpreted as two things: his realization after his breakup with his girlfriend and his career. The first line, I spent eternity without you, safe to say I'm letting go, can talk about letting go of his career as Boywithuke and his girlfriend not having them before he was 18. He also talks about his Playboy era, saying, but a life without love is much worse than the cost of what could have been. He mentions the feeling of liking someone, confessing to them is much better than always longing for them, hence a life without love. The next two songs on the track list are Ghost and Gaslight, which we talked about earlier. The next song, and one of my favorites from the album, is Stranger. He had finally released it after teasing it since November 2023. Stranger would have a runtime of 3 minutes and 40 seconds, and would open up with an intro that was quite unexpected. It was a deeper voice saying, baby, oh my little baby, I'm no stranger, no stranger. The first verse talks about him meeting a total stranger, talking to her, and her acting like she doesn't want to be a complete stranger to him. The chorus talks about a time when either someone else or himself wasn't fully there mentally, causing them to slip in and out of thought. The second verse talks about Charlie's relationship with this girl and how she is a very different person behind the normal facade she shows in public. The second half of the second verse would have a callback to Boywithuke's past job working in 9 to 5. In the bridge, he says he's not capable of change, possibly referencing the struggle of trying to get away from being Boywithuke. The third verse and final verse continues to talk about this mysterious relationship with this girl that he hadn't known for a long time. It has a line similar to his SoundCloud exclusive song, The Head Song. He says, "Effing this bitch I met on the internet, she's sucking..." Okay. He might have had some fun with this verse. He continues saying, "My money big, my attitude feminine, call me a bitch cause I smell like cinnamon." These lines talk about his playboyness, going on multiple dates after his breakup with his girlfriend that he had for the longest time. When the song concludes, it ends with the same intro but with a lower tone. The sixth track on Burnout is Backseat. He had previously played this song at his Lucid Dreams concert, teasing it for all of us to hear. He talks about another date, possibly the same girl from Stranger, seeing if he found the right partner for him. The song then has a beat switch, going from a louder type song to a more relaxed feel. He talks about them going to possibly make out in the backseat of his car. In the outro of the song, he asks if this love he is experiencing is even real, saying, "Doesn't matter if it's real, if it's something I can't feel, this imaginary love." The love he is experiencing isn't really true, as it's just for show and for the experience. The two of them haven't truly given themselves to each other, making their love frivolous. Coffee is the seventh song on the album, having a runtime of 3 minutes and 41 seconds. He talks about his experience of a date, asking the girl to stay a little longer for one more cup of coffee. She seems indifferent to him, not saying what she truly wants, then saying that she thinks that they should have sex. Charlie talks about his high school experience, wondering if he is normal. The first verse shows a lot of his self-reflection. He shows his frustration over his fear of losing integrity and becoming someone he hates, aka Boywithuke. He also at the end apologized, saying, "Sorry for the trauma dump," showing that he acknowledges that his self-expression may be quite heavy. In the second verse, he talks about his relationship between Boywithuke and the label, saying, "As soon as the mask came off, the label dropped, but they left with a buyback clause. A buyback clause is when you can regain the rights to your songs from the label after you have partnered with them, which is extremely good if Charlie would ever want to buy any of his songs back." He also talks about Toby, saying that he's in France, possibly trying to end the storyline of Toby. The song has a massive change in it with an interlude of the dark and deep voice again. The final line from the voice is, "To believe in the objective is to believe in God." The song ramps up to a higher, faster beat with a high-pitched Charlie singing. It could be interpreted as a reflection on the past, thinking about the time someone had everything and lost it all. The last song on side A of Burnout is Paper Planes. This song was originally known as Warplanes, as the chorus states, "I listen for the birds in silence, but I can only hear warplanes." Boywithuke had said on a Twitch livestream on November 16th that Paper Planes was a song written for an anti-war cause. In the second verse, he talks about himself, his career, and others. Talking about himself and his career, he says, "Man, throwback 2020, everybody on vacation, never thought I'd be who I am today." Talking about the others, he also sings, "I don't feel the same since everybody changed so fast." He feels as though he can't get a grasp on reality, as many of the people who knew at the time had possibly changed in maturity and or changed in a bad way, disliking Charlie. The final lines from the second verse, "You want to make a change, okay then, find paper planes and some wallets in the basement," show him metaphorically breaking free and finally wanting to make a change. Petrichor Interlude is the ninth song and starts side B of Burnout. In the first verse, Charlie shows his past emotions and pains, comparing them to a river made of rain. In the chorus, he shows how he's messed up with his past, wishing he could turn back time and fix a relationship with a past lover. In the second verse, he continues to talk about his missed opportunities and his emotional turmoil. Pitfall is the 10th song on Burnout, coming out with a music video. After Boywithuke had first shown it in October 2023, it was sure to be one of the most popular songs on the album. In the song, it starts by Charlie singing that he has no balance in his life. He might have trouble restoring harmony in his life, not being able to balance his personal needs with his relationships and his career. In the chorus, he expresses that he falls from God without a rope, how the F do I let go? He most likely feels like he's lost, falling from a higher power, and that he wonders how he can let go of possibly Boywithuke and or his past traumas. In the second verse, he shows a conversation he has with his past love, wanting to take the relationship in baby steps and wanting to take it in. The third verse is faster than the others, having a more rap feel to it. It shows how he wants to change and break free from who he was, someone chasing clout and having no end to his persona as Boywithuke. My favorite part of Pitfall, and probably the most emotional part, is the bridge. He asks, "How the F was I supposed to know about everything you wanted from me? How the hell do you suppose I wanted to be everything you wanted me to be?" He wants to be the person his friends, partner, family, fans, and or himself wants him to be. At the end of the bridge, a girl's voice comes over and says, "I think I'm out," possibly symbolizing his breakup and or dates that may not have been great for him. In a live stream, he talked about this laugh, saying,
Whose voice was laughing? It was not mine. It was somebody's.
Something special about Pitfall is that another artist is featured on this track. This artist would go by the name of Chandol. This name would be quite important, but we'll get to see that soon. The music video for Pitfall fits quite well to the entire song. Throughout the entire video, he is seen in one room. This room would be a bedroom. It opens up with him playing the guitar on his bed. On the wall, he has photos and memories of his younger self and his past albums. The wall splits apart, showing a screen with himself as a baby and his time as Boywithuke. He watches all these memories while the camera shows some close-up shots of his eye. The camera pans to a text message between a significant other and Charlie, matching the lyrics of the song. Charlie is then seen using Blender, creating a render of a girl with hazel eyes. This is supposed to be the idea of his ideal woman. He then goes to draw sketches in the lyrics to the song. In the classic Boywithuke style, when the beat drops to the chorus again, he is seen throwing various items around the room, being in a state of disbelief or worrying. It plays the third verse of Pitfall, and Boywithuke does a goofy dance to it. When the song goes to the bridge, Charlie is seen standing right in front of the screen, questioning what is truly happening. When the girl's voice plays, lips appear on the screen, and the screen then switches to all of the TikToks he had posted over the years as Boywithuke. Boywithuke runs in front of the screen, showing how fast his career has gone by as Boywithuke. It shows him writing again and shows two names, Boywithuke and Chandol. At the end of the song, the walls connect back together and he finishes playing the guitar on his bed. The 11th track, Corduroy, talks about his experiences he would die to see again. The first verse shows his past trauma, singing, "I welcome death with open arms when daddy did terrible things." In the pre-chorus, he expresses how he loves his life with familiarity and he finally feels free. In the chorus, it talks about his attempt on his life with his head spinning, not sure of what to do, and if he is willing to live his life the way he was anymore. The second verse has an interesting line, "I can't let go of who I was, but I can't cut myself in two." This could possibly be a reference of Charlie leaving Boywithuke in the past, switching to a new name, possibly Chandol. The bridge really brings the song together, talking about how all the fear he has is just in his head, and at the end of all of his troubles, someone will be waiting for him, bringing him to the truth. The outro is a conversation between Charlie and someone else coming back to him. He wants them to know that they can call him as he is in a better state of mind. Love Lost is next, talking about a failed relationship. In the first verse, he is talking about times with his girlfriend, but then the last line says, "Then the light turns green." He was truly just sitting at a stoplight daydreaming of a time that could have happened and or could happen. In the chorus, he wonders what problems he has caused, not knowing why he feels mad at himself. In the second verse, he feels sour towards the past and memories that his ex had with him, reminiscing on the past, wishing he hadn't messed it up. Throughout the rest of the song, he keeps recalling the memories they've shared together and thinking it was interesting how people change throughout a relationship. The next song, Easier, is a song he played in the latter half of the Lucid Dream tour. It was the longest Boywithuke song known to date, having a runtime of 5 minutes and 47 seconds. The first verse continues to talk about his breakup, showing how they've both changed, although changing not within each other in mind. Charlie thinks it may be easier if they never see each other again, so then he doesn't have to look back upon their memories together. In the bridge, he talks about experiences such as driving and getting out of bed being easier without her distracting him, although it makes him lonely. The rest of the song talks about himself. He knows that he hasn't moved on at all, calling himself a effing waste of a man. He wants to change himself for the better, knowing that his constant worrying will kill him sooner than he thinks. The final song on Burnout is Change. Change is a huge aspect of Burnout. Charlie is changing himself from once being Boywithuke, an egocentric, careless, clout-chasing boy, to being a more mature, musically driven man. In the chorus, he tells himself and others that they shouldn't run away from who they want to be. Although change is hard, sometimes it's better to allow for change to grow as a person. Burnout was over. It was the last project as Boywithuke. The point of Burnout was to be split up into two parts. Side A, the breakup Playboy era, and Side B, the change era. The order of Burnout was more intentional this time. He said on the TikTok livestream on November 12th that the album has a lot more progression than its other albums. He said that it starts with his breakup, then to his realization, then to a Playboy era getting old around Coffee. After Coffee, it starts to change, the album and Charlie himself. Although Burnout may be the last album as Boywithuke, it shows how Charlie has grown a lot as a person and an artist, wanting to create music that isn't just for fame and money. 2 days after the release of Burnout, Charlie had announced a digital exclusive on his website, Burnout Deluxe, featuring 4 more songs. These songs would be Cocoon, Llama What, Bad Thing, and Paint. It would come out on November 21st. Cocoon was first. He had finally released a full version of the song many had been waiting for almost 3 years for. It was the original version having the Taco Bell line. The first verse talks about his want for chicken tenders. Yes, chicken tenders. The second verse takes the verse from Before I Die from Lucid Dreams saying, "Let's just keep on staying up past 2, I still see cigarettes by your shoes." Llama What is a relatively short song, only being 47 seconds. It uses the chorus from the minute-long song Greener, singing, "Grass was always greener, thought she was a keeper, told me pretty lies, can't believe that I believed her." The outro ends the song, talking about how he wants this girl and won't keep her waiting for him. The third song from the deluxe extension is Bad Thing. Boywithuke had a song in Lucid Dreams called Bad Things, although this new song is completely different. In the chorus, he talks about how this girl, and/or Toby, is a bad thing for him. He goes on to say, "Good things don't last long, and I hate to wait." Charlie could be talking about the relationship between this girl or Toby. They could have both been good to him, but then they ended up being a bad thing. The final song on Burnout Deluxe is Paint. This was the song that he showed on a TikTok live in January 2024, known as Nothing at All. Charlie says he's lost, stuck painting his walls. This can symbolize the walls of his head, not being able to do well in social situations, and being stuck in a loop of a certain emotion. After the deluxe album was released, we weren't sure what was going to come next. Boywithuke wasn't done yet. Although he is letting go, he has to wrap it up in some way. He was going to finish with a big ending somehow, but it was yet to be released. Charlie had posted on Instagram that there were multiple announcements in the upcoming days. There were theories about a retirement album with all his popular minute-long songs, the official announcement of the name change to the possible name of Chandol, and a Boywithuke tour to end it all. On Monday, November 18th at 12 p.m. EST, Charlie had announced one last tour to end it all. This was the Burnout World Tour. He would first start the tour in Europe in February of 2025. He'd move on to Asia and Australia in March, and finally the US in April and May. This would also be the first time he'd ever toured to Florida, even having 4 shows. So was the tour the end to Charlie's Boywithuke chapter? We weren't sure. As of now, we'd be stuck with many unanswered questions. Would a full retirement album be released? What would be Charlie's new artist name? Who is Chandol? All these questions may someday be answered, but until then, we just have to wait. All we would know is that it was the end of Boywithuke, the death of Toby, the end of an artist that would go down in history. And now, finally, it was the fresh start to a new beginning.